So first off, we got Stan the Yeti versus Flagbot, and I'll give you a brief glimpse of the brackets real fast. So that's the bracket so far. So we have Stan the Yeti versus Nato versus Dr. Batman, then Flagbot, and then Nakanub. And then in this specific match, we got Flagbot and Stan the Yeti. They're going to start us off tonight. And it's going to be a Shaman Mirror. And both these guys submitted these decks beforehand, so they went into this not necessarily knowing that there'd be a Shaman Mirror, but, you know, they're going to have to do a Shaman Mirror twice tonight, so it'll be probably pretty fun. Now, I know that Flagbot has got some really interesting cards in here, so we'll definitely have to see those play out here shortly. Stan the Yeti, as far as I know, is running a fairly standard one. Nothing too crazy. And Flagbot's able to start momentum with the Haunted Creeper. Now, Stan the Yeti could answer with like Feral Spirits if he wants to, or just kind of let it slide. Looks like he's just gonna have a totem, let it slide, and he gets the Spell Power totem, and he does have Earthshock for next turn, and that just straight out kills this Haunted Creeper if he wants to go for it. You know, even if Flagbot does do a Feral Spirit, he's not going to save a Spider. So let's see if Stan the Yeti goes for that right here. And as far as other plays, he's probably just, he can, you know, coin out Feral Spirit, or he can just do a totem along with the Earthshock. He's thinking about Lightning Storm, looks like, but it looks like he's just gonna take it nice and slow, do his own Feral Spirits. Killing the Creeper is not a priority, obviously, so he's not too worried about it.
That was a mistake.
And now here we go with Flagbot's. Okay, so he's just gonna chill. It almost signified that Stan the Yeti made a mistake, but I guess considering he got a healing totem, he might tack in, but never mind. He doesn't go for it. And here we go with Lightning Storm, probably. Yep, nice. So obviously Flagbot has Lightning Storm of himself, but he doesn't quite need to use it just yet. He might use it, but I don't think it's necessary. There's only 4 power on the board, so he might just, you know, develop. Okay, so he's just gonna go for it. And he doesn't need to even roll his totem, considering low rolls and everything will just kill any as well. He gets the Spell Power totem anyway, so 2 Lightning Storms, or 1 Lightning Storm for each player has been used, and both of them are overloaded quite heavily, obviously, for a couple turns now. Second Feral Spirits for Stan the Yeti coming out, and Flagbot did get a Earthshock, which might be used here, but okay, so he's just gonna go with a Rock Fighter, maybe a totem after, just, you know, take it nice and slow. He has the Shredder, so he can probably take the late game. Stan the Yeti, overload for 4. Now, he can probably start clearing some totems, but as far as minion development, he's probably limited to maybe a totem and a Flame Tongue. Even if he wants to commit a Flame Tongue. So he's gonna do a healing totem, that's nice, okay. And which totem does he kill? He kills the Spell Power totem, alright. Ooh, Stan the Yeti running Bloodlust, nice. Against a Shaman Mirror, that might be difficult to use considering they also have superior board control just like you. But maybe we'll see him roll this out here. But the answers from Flagbot is quite strong. But the Fire Elemental can just be... actually, no. He would have to do something... Okay, so he's just gonna do a Lothep, which is nice. I was thinking like a Flame Tongue Totem plus Fire Elemental, but he doesn't have the mana for that, so he's just gonna develop his own board. And a Hex. Okay, so Hex doesn't have too many good targets. Obviously, he's not gonna play for 8. And here comes Sneeds. There is no necessarily... oh, there is an Earthshock for Sneeds, I guess, but that doesn't answer necessarily the body. That just answers the second legendary that could possibly come out. So he might go for the Earthshock. A Hex would be optimal, but, you know, that's asking for everything in life. So he's trying to get a... okay, so he doesn't get the Spell Power Totem. He's gonna Lightning Storm anyway, and that's both the Stan the Yeti's Lightning Storm used. He rolls high on the Shredder. Is he gonna Earthshock it? Or is he just gonna throw his Lotheb in and hopefully deal with whatever comes out? That Bloodlust, it might be forcing him to, you know, use a lot of his resources to maintain board control. And that's what we see here. Now where does the Lotheb go? It's gonna go towards the... Okay. So Lotheb kills out the fire elemental. Now here, Flagbot's gonna defend his low health body. And Manatide Tome. Okay, nice. So Flagbot is just swarming the board here. Considering, you know, he's already seen both lightning storms, so he's not too worried about it. I bet next turn he even does like feral spirits and, you know, everything on the board basically. Alright, so Stan the Yeti gonna do a fire elemental. And as far as trading, we might just see him hold on pretty much everything. So this might be his only move this turn. Yeah, this is his only move. Alright, so he's gonna hold on that, that's cool. Now here we go with Flagbot. Does he start with card draw? No, he's not. He's gonna start by trading in his Zombie Chow into the Flame Fire Elemental. And then go with some card draw. Okay, so he's got a couple 3-mana guys, and he's gonna overload himself considering he probably won't have, you know, any mana limitations next turn, so that works out. And Flagbot's just clearing up the board, making sure no buffs can go on any silence totems or anything. BGH, probably not going to see much use for Stan the Yeti. Fire Elemental's going to come down and kill that mana type totem. And here we go with some nice trading probably. He doesn't get Taunt Totem. He would like Taunt Totem, but obviously, even if he did get it, his Flame Tongue Totem would probably still die. But that means that the Fire Elemental will probably stay alive for quite a while. He might just... Okay, so he's gonna... Looks like he's gonna Hex it. Yeah, goes for that. And developing a second okay, so it looks like he wants to probably take it slow. I would agree with this. Try to, considering you've already seen, you know, all the AoE out of your opponent, try to do as many totems as you can. Not overcommit too much to the board, I like it. Okay, so Stan the Yeti. Might have to use Bloodlust here soon just to clear it, considering he's falling quite behind on board, but, you know, he has the card advantage. So he's gonna start throwing totems at, or crap minions, not necessarily totems, but spiders and totems at his opponent. Looking for a taunt, probably, you know? Okay, so a second Flame Tongue Totem is gonna die. Ooh, Alec here, okay. Flagbot. Looks like he's running more of a, you know, big minion style deck, where Stan the Yeti is running a whole lot of little minions. That's where we kind of get from the Alec here and the Shredder, Sneasel Shredder, and then, you know, Stan the Yeti is running the Bloodlust, so that kind of signifies a lot of little minions. And here we go, Flagbot throwing his own Flame Tongue Totem down and killing his opponent's stuff. And that's gonna probably leave it unanswered unless, you know, Stan the Yeti is forced to do a Bloodlust. But he's not going to have too much on the board anyway. And then if Flagbot just does a Lotheb, then he's really kind of screwed. Yeah. So that Flame Tongue Totem's not probably going to get attacked for a long time. Defender of Argus is nice, but when you're already losing on board, does it really help that much? This looks like Shredder. And then probably a Defender of Argus with the Totem. And where he places this...
My shield for Argus.
Okay, that works. So he's just gonna get his Taunt Totem down to 1 life. Obviously, Flagbot's probably gonna... Ooh, Neptulon! Alright, so the heavy hitters coming in for Flagbot. And that's gonna be fun. Murlocs are always fun to see, especially when you have, you know, plenty of mana to work with them, and, you know, you're not gonna have them laid on the board and die. But this turn, obviously, he's almost max on minions. So he's going with Neptulon. That means BGH will get some nice value. So Stan the Yeti's done a great job holding on to that. Ooh, okay. BGH looks like might have to go down for 5 mana unless he sacrifices that Weblord. Which he can, you know, there's Lotheb with 5 attacks, so he can sacrifice it. Ooh, okay, so one dude is gonna get used. So it looks like Flagbot doesn't really want to dick around with the Weblord effects either, and Stan Deity has the same problem. So here we go with the Doctor, or BGH. And then that might get followed up by maybe a spell-powered Earth Shock. Nope, he's just gonna Totem, okay. So he's gonna go Earth Shock anyway, and that, okay, interesting. So that leaves Lothebs to kind of trade in the standard manner rather than one Lotheb, or I mean, Sludge Belcher. So one Sludge Belcher will not have the advantage. Well, now it does, but dang it. So Azure Drake's not going to get any more value considering there's no more spells, so he just tosses it in. And here we go with more Murlocs. Nice, alright, there we go. Now Stan Deity is running rather dry. We haven't seen too many big things from him. We haven't even seen a Hex to answer, you know, Flagbot's big things. The BGH was nice, but, you know, the Shredder had to get dealt with the hard way. Well, I guess not necessarily the hard way, I had an Earth Shock for it, but Alakir might be one of those more difficult things to take care of. So yeah, here we go. He needs a Hex here soon, or he's just gone. Well, even a Hex would, you know, not work too well. And that just might be it for Stan Deity. He might just concede right here, or maybe just try to slow roll this out. Maybe a Totem and then pass. So going Bloodlust, and looks like he's just throwing in the towel. Yeah, there we go. So first game's probably going to go to Flagbot after he concedes. Gotta wait for it. Yep, nice. Okay, so Flagbot gets game 1. Alright, there we go. We're in the game number 2. This is Stan Deity versus Flagbot. Flagbot won the first game with some interesting, you know, like I said before, his Shaman style was more, you know, big minions with Alakir, Neptulon, Sneeds, and then Stan Deity's kind of stance was on a whole lot of little minions. And these guys have to play the exact same deck twice. That's all kind of the theme of this tournament is, you know, associating a player with the deck, so that's kind of what we're trying to do here. These guys chose to be associated with the Shaman class and how the Shaman's played, so Stan Deity is going for more of a Bloodlust style, and Flagbot's going more of a, you know, heavy hitter style, so obviously the heavy hitter was able to win last game, but you know, it's obviously up to the cards and the play style, so now that these players know exactly what they're up against, and Stan Deity is obviously to a better start. Flagbot's kind of bogged down by having some heavier cards like Neptulon and Fire Elemental in the opening hand. Looks like he's going... Okay, so he wanted to almost Rockbiter weapon. Looks like he's still going to go for that. That removes the minion and keeps his totem safe. Whenever he does totem, he might just coin it out. I'm not sure. Nope, okay, so he's going to hold on to that. And Stan Deity has a much stronger start by getting, you know, some of his lower drops in the harvest, or I mean the Zombie Chow, and now we go with the Elemental, or the Feral Spirits. So Flagbot's forces Totem. That's obviously going to get eaten by a wolf. Stan Deity is probably just going to Totem as well. Cool. Hopefully he gets a healing Totem. Nope, he doesn't. Alright, so... Yeah, figures. Okay, so he just trades that off. Now Flagbot has his Lightning Storm when he needs to use it, I guess. Probably not going to be this turn. This turn he could do... Oh, it's just... Okay. Cool. So he needs to roll high on the middle spirit. And he rolls low on it, so we're kind of sad. Now does... Okay, so Stan Deity probably going to go with the Totem Feral Spirits, considering he just saw one Lightning Storm come out. And the Shaman matchups are kind of centered around the use of Lightning Storm. You put so much little stuff on the board, and Lightning Storm deals with it so effectively, it's like whoever commits the Lightning Storm and then who, you know, is able to use it efficiently and such like that. So it's all games about Lightning Storm. And obviously Stan Deity is a little bit ahead, but the card advantage for Flagbot is quite immense. So he's forces Totem on turn 5 due to the Overload. He's gonna silence the Rockbiter, or Flametongue Totem, leaving 6 power on the board rather than a 10. But it looks like Stan Deity is just going to juice up his Totem once again. Leave it not useless. And just going for face with everything he has, considering his opponent has no board, so Flagbot is probably able to, he probably wants the Fire Elemental, but there's a few good targets, but nothing really amazing. But anything that does trade, okay, so, now how does Standy essentially trade this? So it looks like everything to face, and that will, you know, that's lethal, obviously on board, and then, you know, as a full board, Bloodlust is devastating. So how Flagbot's gonna force to go with a card draw. He's 1 mana. Okay, nice. So the series is tied up. Alright, here we go. We got Nado versus Standy. We're gonna follow Nado this time, considering we followed Standy last time. And it looks like Nado's playing probably a pretty fun Paladin. And Standy is rocking a Shaman, the same Shaman. I mean, you know, obviously they have to play the exact same deck, so this is the Shaman with, you know, Bloodlust and everything in it, so should be good. Ooh, Nado's going with a Hobgoblin style. And obviously this is big against a, you know, a similar deck where they throw out a lot of small minions, so this is gonna be pretty fun. Now, obviously, this Hobgoblin Paladin deck is not super meta. The Shaman deck is more in line with, you know, the popular meta. So this should be, you know, pretty fun depending on how this kind of plays out.
I wonder.
Sonado taking it kind of slow. He's not going to really stress the zombie tower too much. He could have done, like, Blessing of Might, but, you know, that's not really too big. That's not really necessary. Now, Nado's... Ooh, Noitron. Okay, so that's gonna save... Okay, so I was thinking he might do a Noitron to just save the life of some of his smaller minions. But he's just gonna power the hell out of his Ooze, which, you know, will create that double 4-2. Obviously one will die, but, you know, it's there. The presence is there. So Standy is not going to have any of this nonsense. He's just going to Lightning Storm the board and say, screw it, I still have board control of my Zombie Chow. And is Nado forced to... Maybe he can just do one Noitron?
Reporting for duty.
He doesn't Hero Power, so the Hero Power will probably take out the Zombie Chow next turn. And as far as Standy development, he could probably do like a coin Feral Spirits. That's probably what I assume he'd do. Yeah, there we go. And Nado actually gets... He gets his True Silver Champion. Looks like he doesn't want to use it quite here. He's going to develop his taunts to protect his Hobgoblin. So here we go with the juiced up dude. And he's not going to attack into the Feral Spirits. He's just going to pass the turn. These Feral Spirits are going to do some work here. Silence is going to go down. He's not going to totem before silencing, which is interesting. Gonna Rockbiter, probably his own face to deal with the Hobgoblin. And just slowly whacking away at all these, you know, annoying little minions. Now Nado's left with a weapon, which is nice, but, you know, and he has a second Hobgoblin, so he's probably going to collect his cards and probably develop a really strong Hobgoblin board here in the future. He's already seen one Lightning Storm, so that's probably the bane of this deck. Now Standy could develop some taunts. Okay, so that looks like he's gonna go for that. Now how does Nado... Okay, so Jeeves is nice, it works with Hobgoblin. He has a 7 mana, and he's already... Oh, the Hex would probably kill it, but... He needs the cards, obviously. Looks like he's not... The Owl would mean that he's not able to develop too much. But I guess he goes with Jeeves, which is rather strange. But it works, I guess. So Rockbiter or Flameswing Totem is gonna go out, kill Jeeves. Sadly, it drew a few cards, but the Hobgoblin will have effectiveness here soon. And he's even running like Leper Gnome, so this is kind of like a rush power deck. But he's not. Ooh, wow. Okay, so how much mana does he effectively have to use with Hobgoblin? Quite a bit. He could probably just throw down his whole board. Even some of the hero power probably too. Considering, you know, the Wisp is free. So here we go. This is Nado's potential swing turn. Oh wow, okay. Taking it really, really slow. He doesn't want to... Looks like he wants to just collect more cards for Hobgoblin to use. Which is smart, you know, it's his trump card. It's what his deck is built around, so he wants to make sure it's effective as possible, potentially at the 10 mana.
I wonder.
Azure Drake's gonna go down, and that leaves a Neptulon probably going to be played next turn if nothing threatening comes out where he has to like BGH or whatever, but probably not gonna be in the Hobgoblin deck. Stan the Yeti's trying to figure out the best way to trade this. He knows what his deck is. I mean, he's seen the Hobgoblin, so you know he kind of knows what he's dealing with. So here we go with the big swing turn, it looks like. And this is kind of his last little hurrah. He's not able to hero power. He's able to do a lot of work here, even with the raid leader. And I wouldn't be surprised to even see like a Sea Giant. That would be really fun in this type of deck, but you know, I can see the deck list, but we're not going to spoil anything. So, okay, so it looks like he's just going to go for lethal. There we go, and the Bloodlust is effective. Alright, so Stan the Yeti's going to take game number 1. Okay, we're back. Same stuff as last time. We got these guys going up against each other. Hobgoblins versus Bloodlust. The Bloodlust took, you know, the better half of last game, but hopefully the Zombie Chow won't do too much work. You know, the Zombie Chow really shut down Nado's momentum last turn, and he's got the Divine Favor this time, so hopefully he's gonna do a little bit better on card draw. And he just starts out with a coin, so he's definitely forcing the momentum. And that does that mean the Stan the Yeti? Okay, so he doesn't want to Earthshock it, but he's just gonna put down a Haunted Creeper. And here we go with the second Knife Juggler. That means we're probably going to see a Totem Earthshock, depending if he gets Spell Power and then a Haunted Creeper attack. Oh, nice, and he gets it. Okay, so that's gonna kill one. The second one will obviously stay alive, but it looks like Nado's able to develop some nice things with it. Maybe Hero Power and Argent Squire. Maybe he wants to do... Okay, so I was thinking he might do the Hobgoblin just to, you know, get as much value out of it as possible, you know, by using the Argent Squire to get buffed, but he's just, you know, nice play. And looks like he's really forcing the momentum. He's not going for any shenanigans. He's just going for shake your face. And Stan the Yeti not too happy about that Knife Juggler, so I'm just gonna kill it. Okay, Coghammer, that's nice. He might try to proc Coghammer maybe on Hobgoblin a little bit later in the game. But for now, he might just do Chill Silver Champion, start clearing the board. Or may just go straight for face? Oh wow. Yeah, alright, so Stan the Yeti's down to 14. We're fairly certain that there's no healing, but there are a lot of taunts. Stan the Yeti has, you know, Feral Spirits, Zombie Chows, and Slush Vultures to, you know, protect him a bit. And Nado... Okay, so Leper Gnome's gonna get him down to 12 eventually, but... looks like Nado's going to try to play as slowly as possible, try and get the most value out of this Hobgoblin. Ooh, Coghammer would be really slick. Okay, nice. That's gonna get Divine Shield in the front for the dude. And force the guy trade into it, unless there's no Hex or Light or Shock, so Sandy Eddie's probably gonna have to do a hard trade there. So the is gonna come out along with Zombie Chow now. Oh, he's just gonna hold. Okay, so that means that Nado's probably gonna be able to trade in very nicely here. He's even gonna protect his Leopard Gnome. Yeah, I mean, he has attack twice anyway, so might as well just keep his face as healthy as possible, have the face absorb 1 damage, have the shield for 3. And is going to go with the Jeeves, which will probably die, but was able to draw any cards whatsoever. It draws at 3, right? Yeah, so Jeeves was not able to draw any cards, but it looks like it's just going to be used as like a stall tactic. Left room comes out. Okay, so Nado's not looking too great, but oh, here we go. Nice, okay, so he's able to develop probably an ooze, maybe hero power, unless he wants to do it. Okay. So he's not going to do any such thing, and it's just going straight for face, get his opponent down to 7. He has Divine Favor, so if Standier lays down a Mana Tide, oh no, oh, whoa, Lightning Storm. Damn, okay, here we go. It could roll high on the oozes, and it does, rolls high on both oozes, so Nado's probably rather sad. And that's lethal next turn for Standier, but Nado does have 2 damage right here. The Raid Leader doesn't help too much, so he has to Divine Favor. He's even gonna Divine Favor after throwing out the Raid Leader. Blessing of Might. Wisp? Ooh. So Standier is just probably going to take this one. Yeah, we get him down to 5, but there just goes lethal for Standier. He's even gonna do some Boombots shenanigans. Both hit face, obviously, natural way of Boombots. Heal his opponent back up to 10, Fire Elemental, do the works, Flame Tongue Totem, yeah. All the sad news for Nado. He's gonna kill his own totem. Alright, Standier takes game number 2, so Stand versus Nakanub, Standier versus Nakanub, and this is Nakanub's first match for the night. He's obviously super high in legend rank, as you can see, 69, so kappa kappa kappa. Looks like he is playing a ramp druid, and let's make sure that obviously all these guys submitted decks before, but I'm just going to make sure that this is the same deck they submitted to me. Yep, looks good. And he gets lucky with the Wild Growth in hand, and Standier has some nice small minions to start him off with, so both players having a nice decent start here. And going into this bracket, Standier is obviously ahead a little bit by, tying against one opponent and beating the other one. We haven't played too much tonight, so that will obviously probably change as the night develops, but we got plenty of matches to go. And let's kind of see where this goes. Standier looking to do a lot of work. I know that he works really hard, and he modified his deck several times, so he's probably going to do quite well. The Hunter Creeper comes out after the Wild Growth, so ooh, second Wild Growth. Okay, I'm guessing that might be held until turn 10, but maybe he just has to play it here, and maybe he's running some like super heavy drops to actually use the mana later on. Yep. Okay, so he's actually gonna use it. That means that, he's going to have a lot of mana and his card draw is lacked a little bit by getting that, but here we go. He's able to do, you know, basically a turn 4. Yeah, he's gonna do a turn 4 Azure Drake, you know, which isn't quite impressive, but you know, it's a thing. Standiety's gonna go with a totem rather than a Mana Tide, realizing that Wrath could be a possibility. Here we go with the Azure Drake, and that does not lead into like an innervate for the Shade. So Standiety, let's see, does he want to answer the Azure Drake or just develop his own board with a Shredder? Probably just a Shredder, I would think. He can't do much about the Azure Drake unless he, you know, commits like a Lightning Storm to it, but he probably doesn't need to worry about it too much. Shredder is definitely the solider option. He goes for it. Knocking up has the BGH, but I don't think we've seen any BGH targets in Stan's deck at all, so he might get lucky with like a flame-tongued fire elemental, but I'm guessing no. Considering, you know, BGH is a very common card to run in Druid, so Stan's probably not going to play like that. Wrath's going to come down. Okay, so Wrath for 3 probably, or 4 basically from the Power, or from the Drake. I'm gonna answer Stan's questions real fast. That is a potential problem. Okay, so Stan the Yeti brought up a good point by saying that since Stan the Yeti essentially started the night out and he's been on stream for a little bit, Nakano could potentially have just seen everything in his deck, and Stan the Yeti doesn't essentially know anything about Nakano's deck. And it is kind of the curse of, you know, whoever goes first is kind of spectated, even though there is this 10-minute delay on stream. Stan the Yeti has played, you know, 4 games already against 2 different opponents, so Nakano, the 10-minute delay isn't really that relevant. Okay. Anyway, so back to this game. We've been kind of ignoring it for too long. This game's rather important. Nakano able to develop a lot with his mana. He gets an innervate, so the innervate's probably going to be rather useless, and we see a first half of the combo, so that means that he is running a combo-based druid. Unlike a gentleman last night. Let me check, who was it last night? I think it was like Extreme. That was running like a non-combo style druid. He just has heavy ramp with the Ancient of War and stuff. But Nakano's going with the combo. Obviously, it's both ways are viable. Zandia is going with a totem here along with the Shredder. So, ooh, Black Knight. Obviously, he probably wants to save Black Knight for a Sludge Belcher and not a totem. But if he's getting that desperate, which he's not, I mean, he's not desperate at all at this point. He has 9 mana and plenty of stuff to play, hopefully. Maybe he's forced to do a Shade. The Shade probably will get answered by a Lightning Storm. So maybe hold on to the Shade. I'm not sure. Obviously, it's a tricky turn. And the Black Knight, I guess this is the only thing I guess to develop. He might do a swipe after splitting up the spiders. I think that would be viable. A swipe onto the Shredder and then have your bear kind of kill whatever comes out of the Shredder. Or have the Azure Drake, considering the Azure Drake is protected. I don't know. He has some options with the swipe. Looks like he's going to Black Knight.
None.
Okay, Standia is probably happy about that. And I'll just comment on him.
I'm waiting for no one.
Okay, so considering Nakano Black Knighted a totem rather than a Sludge Belcher, we just had to comment that Nakano has probably not been watching the stream, so he's probably alright. And Stanzier is going to go with the double Lightning Storm, which I guess works. That means that Shade will get played next turn unanswered. So Nakano has 10 mana, and he's probably going to be joyous to play a Shade right here. And he's just going to card draw. Ooh, combo. Okay, so his opponent is down to 19 life. Combo magical number is going to be 14, and with the Shade on board, that does lead up to a perfect... Ooh, okay, so that's basically lethal. Stan the Yeti is not able to do a Sludge Belcher. Okay, so if the Feral Spirits come down, that's basically going to save him from lethal. Okay, so it's not lethal. Or actually, it might be. I'm not going to do the calculations because he could just throw 2 trees into the thing and... Oh my god. Okay, looks like... Okay, let's calculate this first. 2 trees in the thing, that means a 4 tree right here. This is going to go up to a 5, so that's going to be 9. 9 plus 7 is going to be 16. Okay, so he's a little bit off lethal. Oh yeah, okay, but it looks like he's just going to go rather aggressive. Start doing some pain. And that's going to throw Stan the Yeti a little bit hesitant. He has 7 mana, he could throw down 1 taunt, potentially 2 taunts with a totem. And then the Argus eventually, a little bit later on. Yeah, here we go with 1 taunt. But he's going to use his face to get rid of the Shredder or the Ancient Lore. I would think the Ancient Lore, considering that does not generate another body for Savage Roar to be gone through. Now is this lethal? He has to... Yeah, I mean, he throw 2... Yeah, okay. And there we go. So Nakanu's going to take this first game against Stan. And then we'll just go to game 2. These guys fight twice in this little group. And alright, here we go. Game 2 against Nakano versus Stan the Yeti. And obviously they're playing the exact same decks, so that's kind of the theory of this, or the sense of this. So the whole purpose of the one deck theme is to have deck associations with these players as these players kind of progress in their professional career. Obviously this tournament is at like the very bottom of their professional career, considering it's, you know, open, free, and you know, we're not even that old, we're not even that good. So as these players progress, hopefully these kind of deck associations kind of hang with them. Kind of the, you know, the way Kit Kats has his warrior associated with them, you know, Strife Crow has the druid and whatnot. So that's kind of what we're going for, and plus it's helpful. I think it's a little bit more fun just to watch these guys, how they adapt to play against each other. And strong start from both players with the Wild Growth and the Creeper. Basically the exact same start as last turn, but the Shade does kind of help Nakano curve out a little better. He doesn't get the double Wild Growth, which kind of helps him, but yet gave him, you know, a lot of interesting turns with wasting 1 mana and whatnot. But Shade's just gonna chill there, probably a Shredder. Stan the Yeti is probably gonna go with a Hero Power or a Creeper next turn, considering he's overloaded. And we're actually going to... Looks like we're going to get a co-caster in here. Just give me a sec while this game kind of goes in.
Job's done.
One of the fellow contestants, or one of the fellow champions from a previous night in a later group, offered to co-cast tonight, so we'll try to get him in. That should be a lot of fun. But for right now, this game looks to be fairly cool, and let's give our co-caster a call before this game gets too hot. So man, how you doing?
Hey, how's it going?
Cool, cool. So you're on air right now. Do you want to just do a brief introduction while I get the screen share up for you? Like, what's your favorite deck and whatnot?
Okay. I've been playing Hearthstone since beta, and my favorite deck currently is Druid. I'm not a fan of the. I don't play rush decks. I try not to play rush decks, so
Okay.
I like Druid.
Nice, nice. Going with the slow style then, or the control
Yeah.
style. So are you more of like a fan of like the board control rather than maybe going for like maybe a spell control style with like a rogue then maybe?
Yeah, currently, I think in the meta right now, currently, you almost have to go control if you're gonna play Druid.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
hard. It's hard.
Yeah, I understand. Cool. So, do you want to talk about this game? We're on turn 5, obviously, and Shade's out doing damage and whatnot. And this is game 2 against Nakanub and Stan the Yeti. Nakanub took game 1 with a nice combo, lethal.
He was the shaman.
Oh no, Stan the Yeti is the shaman.
Oh, yeah. My mistake.
The name's kind of too small for you.
No, I can see him. I was confused from the previous game. It was Stan the Yeti who was the shaman last game. Last series, I'm saying.
Well, actually, they're playing one deck only through this group stage. That's kind of the theme. So,
Oh, okay.
The perspective might have been a little bit weird, but yeah, Stan the Yeti has been playing Shaman all night, and Nakanub, this is his first game. He's playing Druid, which will be off night.
His board looks really good.
He does. He has one half of the combo even too, so obviously Stan's at quite a high health, but if some of these minions stay alive, that Shadow Bird's going to be a big deal. Ancient of Lore probably going to be played unless... yeah, he's going to start whacking face, and that... Okay,
Yeah,
so
that hurts.
obviously if 3 of these live...
That's a good draw.
Yeah, that's a really
That's
good draw.
a good draw.
So, can he clear the board with that, do you think? He has to...
I think he should try to totem first here. I think he should have totemed first and then went for the Lightning Storm, but either way, Lightning Storm is still really good, and it did big work.
Yeah, he rolled low on some of them. Obviously, he values the Mana Tide over the Totem. But yeah, I would agree with the Totem myself too, but looks like he's just going to throw his minions into this. Obviously,
It's still good. It's not bad.
Yeah, it's definitely really good. Not turn 9 just yet for Nakanub, so he's not too worried about the combo. Nakanub's going to do some cycling with the Drake.
Well, really, if he he only has one half of the combo so far.
Yeah.
So he's good.
Yeah. And I think, to my knowledge, I could obviously look at the deck list, but to my knowledge, he's only running one of each. But we'll have to take a look as this game develops. Spells, not too worried probably. He has a Shredder and Loatheb if he wants to go with minion development. But
Yeah,
in
and probably
general,
just card draw.
so obviously, you know, the Druid's favored if, like, Wild Growth Start comes out, but, you know, if that doesn't happen, in general, who do you think is favored, you know, in the standard Druid versus Shaman game?
I think it depends on the Shaman's draws more than the Druid's draws, because if the Shaman can fill board and, say, get an early Shredder out, or turn 5 Azure Drake, something like that, if they can fill the board early with decent minions, and it's really hard for the Druid to deal with.
Yeah. But Nakanub's just going to take that, so let's update the brackets real fast. Okay, here we go against Nado versus Nakanub, and we have a fellow champion amongst us today in Loki. Am I pronouncing that correctly?
Yes, that is it.
Nice. So you're just like the Norse god then.
Yeah, it's it's similar to my last name.
Okay, cool.
So yeah.
All right. Well, as far as this game, Nakanub obviously is playing his Ramp Druid they played last game, and Nado is playing a fairly aggressive Hobgoblin style Paladin deck.
Oh yeah, this is the Savit's Eboladin deck.
Okay, so this is actually something that has hit ladder and hit hard, obviously.
This deck, I watched Savit's, who's a pro player. I watched him climb around 200 ranks in Legend with this deck.
Nice. Where did he peak at during that stream?
I think he peaked at rank 115.
Nice. Okay, so definitely viable. And we saw it against Stan the Yeti's Shaman, which it kind of got destroyed, but hopefully it's going to fare a little bit better against this Druid that doesn't have too many board clears. Obviously the swipes are going to be a big deal, but I don't know, Nakanub's not having them just yet, and we might have disconnected considering he's not passing his turn or something's weird.
I see that.
So we'll wait about 5 seconds, then just reconnect. Obviously the game's still young, not too important. Alright, he's
Swipe
moving
is,
his cards around, so we'll just reconnect to this game. Hold on for a sec.
Swipe's really important in this matchup here.
Yeah. I would say, I think the Argent Squire, the Leper Gnomes, Hero Powers, obviously, those have all 1 health. But some of the tougher minions, like the Oozes, and like that stuff, over 1 health.
Especially after they get buffed from the Hobgoblin, it can cause major problems.
Yeah. So it looks like Nakanub, actually, I'm guessing that he held on to his Wild Growth, had to probably do some Wrath Clearing turn 2, then turn 3 he went for a Shade, realizing that this is an aggressive deck. And now he's just have to run his face. Oh, he's just gonna silence it. Okay, that works.
Yeah. He might even innervate out his passive. I don't know if he will though.
Oh, that'd be really slick. Yeah.
I would also like to save innervate for next turn though. You get to innervate Dr. Boom turn 5.
Oh yeah.
That just seems really good. That also seems really good.
Yeah. Okay, so it looks like he's gonna go with your play about innervating Dr. Boom a little later. Now Nato's able to develop several minions. He might play it rather slow. Maybe get. Probably not the weapon. He already has 1 out. Does some work here too. So he's probably going to try to save most of his 1-attack minions like the Neutron to essentially protect his Hobgoblin next turn potentially.
Yeah, I guess he's gonna have to hit that Shade with his face.
Yeah. Do you see him kind of just... I see him Hero Powering and Haunted Creeper right now, to be honest.
Yeah, I think that might be the best. I don't know if he wants... I think he wants to save his Neutron for the Hobgoblin combo.
Yeah. And then that would be able to have him hopefully set up like a Jeeves behind that as well the next following turn. So he just goes with a nice slow play. He's got his opponent already down to 21 life, and the first swipe comes in hand. Then here we go with your Dr. Boom play that you mentioned earlier. And that's gonna be a big deal.
It feels so good. It feels so good to do.
Yeah.
Innervate out a Dr. Boom, it just feels so good.
Yeah. Looks like he's going rather slow, and if he splits up the Creeper, does that also give the 2/2 to the minions as well?
It actually doesn't, because it says Hobgoblin. The card reads whenever you play a minion.
I see.
So you play the Haunted Creeper, and the Haunted Creeper summons the 2 Spectral Spiders. So the summoned units don't get the buff. Same with the little dude passive. They won't get that buff either.
Oh, okay. Alright, well that's sad, but hopefully we'll see some work. Bad luck on the Boombots. He probably want to kill the Hobgoblin. He's probably just gonna manually take it out with his Dr. Boom. That's too big of a threat to leave alive.
Oh, I didn't realize he hadn't attacked with his Keeper yet.
Yeah.
I was gonna say that would be really sad to have to attack Dr. Boom into that, but Hobgoblin is the minion of that deck.
Yeah. And now Nato's kind of stranded. He could probably get 1 draw out of the Jeeves if he goes for it, but it's not going to be a strong draw.
Get in there and fight, maggot!
Let me get that.
Alright, well he's got full weapons now. Obviously Jeeves is going to die.
This Paladin's hand is looking pretty sad right now.
Yeah. It is kind of one of those decks where you have a lot of low drops. Like I looked at the deck list and he kind of caps out at the 4-mana weapon.
Yeah, from what I understand, the idea behind the deck is to mulligan for either your Hobgoblins or Divine Favor like that, and then you play out your hand. If you have Jeeves in your hand, you play out your hand, you lay Jeeves last, and then you just draw 3 cards every time until you get drawn into a Divine Favor. And then you wait till the turn when you have Divine Favor up and you just Divine Favor.
Wow.
And then theoretically you just keep cards in your hand throughout the entire game. Starting the combo a little bit here. Oops, white face.
There we go. Alright, so Nakanob's going to take game 1 against Nato. These guys won't take too long loading up the next game, considering they have to play the exact same deck, so we'll just chill here, let them do their thing. As far as matchup favoritism, I would say that, you know, the Paladin could potentially take that. That's not like a hard counter against like the shaman where it just has tons of little minions itself to clear out your own little minions.
Protect the wild.
But rather interesting. Hopefully we'll actually see some more good work because this is a rather interesting deck. I didn't actually catch Savisa's stream of that, so this is a new deck to me at least.
I mean, it is very strong, and I think it definitely can have the power to beat a druid if it draws well. He's got a pretty good hand right now.
Yeah, it does. Do you think that he could have done anything a little bit better last game to effectively increase his chances, or was it just like bad draw?
The light protects.
Maybe his hand was pretty poor last game. The only thing I seen Savitz doing a lot was if he was about to coin out that wild growth, that would have been interesting. But I've seen Savitz, he was waiting to play his hobgoblin with like 2 or 3 minions at least. He would wait to play his hobgoblin with 2 minions every game.
Okay. And hopefully you don't get behind while you're saving up cards for that.
Yeah.
That's what I seen in the shaman matchup, because he would obviously get behind on board and he would kind of stock hold the cards until the hobgoblin would be able to get 2 or 3 buffs, but obviously the board was just too insane for the shaman and then you just get wrecked. But hopefully we do get that nice little combo this game.
Oh, he coined Innervate. Wow. That's a big play.
That's
Turn
an
1.
old school play, like where you used to coin
Wow.
Innervate or a Yeti out.
Yeah, Yeti or Senjin.
Yeah.
Those are the old days.
Looks like he's gonna go into wild growth now to actually get a turn 4 keeper next turn to actually probably hit something for 2. And then I personally thought Nado would go with like an abusive sergeant onto the girl just to get rid of the shade, or Shredder, I mean.
Yeah, that's pretty interesting. Usually you want to play the ooze because, you know, it makes 2 with the hobgoblin, so...
Yeah, and he's also running stuff in here like Blessing and Might, which I've seen him use on the ooze as well. But he plays to play them naked, which is fine. Obviously it's basically a 2/4 for, you know, was it 2 mana, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 2 mana. So Keeper's gonna come out, do 2 damage, doesn't want to silence the Creeper, rather just eliminate stuff with the board, going for face. And I think
That's
he
a little
went for
interesting, maybe.
face there just because he has the Savage Roar, probably, right?
Yeah, he probably wants to push for lethal, and his hand it's not the best, you know. He's got a Wrath and 2 Savage Roars. That's, I don't know if you really want to see that versus the Ebola Din deck.
Yeah, probably some taunts and such would be a little bit better. But Nado does have an interesting hand himself with a Raid Leader and a...
That's kind of what you want to see. I mean, it's really, that Wisp is really what you want to have with a Hobgoblin, but he could draw 2 cards here with the Jeeves.
Yeah.
And fill board almost.
And then obviously the Raid Leader would get huge value next turn if you have, you know, 3 or 4 minions on board.
It seems so good in that Paladin deck to lay Jeeves turn 4 if you can, and draw 2 cards with it. It seems so good.
And then it will just die to the Shredder probably, but obviously it goes with the play that you were mentioning. And
I mean, this deck has to cycle cards. This Paladin deck, it has to cycle cards.
yeah. And it does that exactly. He gets, ooh, some interesting draws. Uza obviously is paired nicely with the Juggler.
He might just lay this BGH here.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think, he probably knows that there's no 7-attack minion in this Hobgoblin deck, so probably feels fine by laying that down.
Yeah, not gonna do. I mean, he's a legend player. I'm sure he's seen this this Hobgoblin deck once or twice on ladder.
Oh yeah. Once a streamer starts playing it, you know everyone's gonna pick it up quite soon.
Mm-hmm.
But he's able to have 2 on board. The Raid Leader might do some work. Maybe True Silver would also clear the board a little bit nice as well.
That Ancient Allure is a good draw for the Druid. He's gonna want to cycle with that, I think, unless the Paladin can really push for damage here.
Yeah. That'd be kind of sad that he has to heal with that considering his hand currently.
Yeah,
But he's not too worried about that,
you might trading the 1/1 into the Shredder doesn't seem bad.
Yeah.
And you may even lay the Raid Leader for an extra damage here, or he could go Ooze with the Juggles.
Yeah, and he goes with that. He's gonna split up his Ooze, go for the Juggles.
Okay.
Handle it.
Oh, the Armor Smith. That is not good.
Yeah, it does kind of give him quite a bit of health. I mean, it gave him basically 2 health there, and now it's
He does have a nice board.
yeah. Now it's gonna start whacking with the 1/1s.
That druid just is praying for swipe right now. He is asking the gods for swipe.
Yeah. Now Nato probably doing the same prayer for his hobgoblin, considering he has a nice little setup for it. One Savage Roar does come down to basically kill the important things. Not so lucky with the draws. Maybe the Annoytron is nice here, considering, you know, everything, basically everything has 1 attack. I mean, one health, so it does trade nicely.
That paladin could get a little careless too. He's running 2 savage roars. Usually you just see 1 and then you think you're good.
Oh yeah, that's a good point. If he does some crazy weapon attacks, you get
Yeah.
a little bit low and doesn't really... He's done a lot of face attacks, so he doesn't really care too much about the minions, so, you know, obviously knocking up gets enough minions on board. Bam! 20 life to 0 in 1 turn.
What to do?
So, I would think some card draw is probably the best, but he's looking maybe to get Savage Roar off. He goes for the card draw.
He really doesn't want a savage roar here just to kill that Annoyotron.
Yeah.
That would feel really, he would be really sad about that.
I
Those
guess
are
some-
good draws
Yeah,
though.
I mean, nice solid minions they could start throwing out.
The paladin is not having such luck though.
Yeah.
His board is nice with small minions, but it isn't looking good.
I mean, the 1 attack is attractive once you get the Hobgoblin buffs, but right now it's just it's not working. Like, he only has 5 attack on board, and you're an aggressive deck and you have 5 minions, so...
He really needs to top deck the Divine Favor next year, or else he's
Yeah.
going to be in a really bad spot.
My favor would be huge. Coghammer's
maybe.
decent. He almost got it on a minion that he didn't want to get buffed by Divine Shield, but
Yeah,
I guess it forces the druid
That is one
himself
of the
to
better-
split it up.
yeah, I think that is the best minion I think to get it on there.
Oh, okay. And he chooses not to attack with it, too, so he's even going to keep the shield on there while the druid attacks into it.
He's got to hero power this shield away. He'll feel so bad if he has to attack both of those big minions into that.
Yeah, and it shouldn't be too big of a deal. I mean, you put yourself at 14, but you have plenty of mana to summon 1 minion at least, and then hero power whatever you need.
He could also clear as much of the board as possible. The druid. Oh wow.
Yeah, that swipe.
Oh wow.
Alright, so Nato's left kind of dry. Spell power's huge. Now, that's basically lethal on board.
Yeah, this is like Divine Favor or bust.
Yeah, and he busts.
Yeah.
Reporting for duty.
Okay, well, he does the one play that he can. He's gonna whack his face into the guy, not kill it, get his health even lower, and then goes Savage Roar and GG.
Victory.
Oh, alright. Alright, so Nakanub's gonna take that. Nakanub is obviously looking on top with his 2 wins. He basically 2-0'd his opponents. And Sandier is looking good in there. Flagbot has some work to do. Flagbot just relogged, so we're gonna have him start fighting. And we're going into the game right now, so we'll hop right into that. It's going to be Nakanub versus
I must protect the wild.
Flagbot. Obviously, we mentioned how Flagbot just logged in, so we're going to have him play quite a bit here to get him caught up. We can't see his hand, so let me let him know.
Nakanub's druid deck is seems very standard. I haven't really seen anything crazy in it.
Yeah, we saw a gentleman yesterday run a non-combo druid, and now obviously Nakanub's running the combo, so, you know, it is a stylistic choice. we'll have to reload this once Flagbot lets us see his hand. It's just a setting that he has to click. It's a little box in the settings. He'll get there eventually. We have had some errors with it lately, but okay. So let's reload this. We might have to load it from Flagbot's perspective. So we'll start with Flagbot's perspective, and then we'll go into Nakamob's. So Flagbot is running a super big guy style shaman that we saw him against Stan the Yeti go against. That was like a mirror match, but Stan the Yeti was running like a Bloodlust style, so a little different. And obviously this one has some heavy hitters in there.
Yeah, that Neptulon looks nice.
Yeah. That's been a lot of fun. He used, last game when he played it, he used the Murlocs mostly as board clear like the Chargers, so he wasn't able to get some, you know, huge Murloc turns, which, you know, I'm a fan of, but it worked out. And, okay, so, looks like we're gonna see...
Does he have a wild? He has a wild. Is he coining the wild growth here?
Oh, no.
Oh. Well, I don't know what I was seeing.
Yeah, that was a little funky, coining an Azure Drake, so... Yeah, it was a little strange. I almost didn't see the Azure Drake either, so... Looks like he's just gonna trade into it with an Earth Shock, considering he has the spell power.
That's nice. That's good.
Yeah, I mean, denying any coin minion right off the bat and keeping your mana tide alive for as long as possible is always nice. He does have even a Sludge Belcher next turn to even do more protection.
Yeah, this Shaman's deck, I see a Sneed in there. That looks real nice.
Yeah, he's getting all his heavy cards really early, so this is gonna... Hopefully he can survive long enough to get there against this, you know, Druid, but...
This is a nice matchup for Shaman with his cards in his hand because the Druid can't fill a board, and the Shaman can just make totems and wait for his big minions to come.
Oh, that's a good point.
It's a good situation for the Shaman right now, I think.
Okay.
Until the Druid makes his play, at least.
Yeah, and Druid's taking it really slow. He just did a Wild Growth and a Thalnos, so I mean, he's trying to get... Okay, so just getting an Earthshock Demon. He doesn't even get the card draw out of it.
That's sad. The Druid wanted that card. He laid that Thalnos because he didn't have a good hand, and he just needed to cycle to get better cards.
And I mean, he can't even pair it with this swipe now. I mean,
Oh,
pairing a
the
Thalnos with a
Thalnos.
swipe is huge. I mean,
Yeah, that could have been very nice.
no Lightning Storm to answer the Shade, so it's probably going to grow for a little bit.
Okay. Just fill and board. This is a great strategy versus Druid. The Druid does not want to see that right now.
Yeah, I mean, they don't have any like huge swing turn removal stuff, so this is gonna be.
He might even force a nature here.
Really, obviously.
Yeah, but possibly if he's that scared of the board.
Yeah, it's possible. I would hopefully he reserves and just goes for some card draw, but obviously he's thinking about it by hovering over that card quite a bit.
And that's a lot of taunts that the Druid really can't deal with.
Yeah. But they
Maybe
do
you-
trade fairly well with the lore, so I mean, I'll start whacking at him eventually. But he goes with your play.
He's gonna do it.
Yeah. Obviously, I guess he's just gonna throw everything into this. He's gonna be able to kill 3 wolves, which works out. Oh,
There's a lot of things that were scary about that. He killed the taunt totem too, but those 2 wolves were at 2 HP. If he rolled a heal totem, then that would have been even more trouble in the next turn for him.
yeah, that's a good point.
Had he not cleared board.
I find it interesting they actually killed the taunt totem rather than finishing off that one.
Yeah, I don't know if he meant to do that. That's interesting.
Yeah. I guess we'll see if it's relevant if the wolf stays alive for a long time. I mean, it's obviously a mistake, but for right now, I guess we'll just go with it.
And I guess as the Druid, you don't fear playing Sylvanas that much anymore either because you know both Earthshocks are down already.
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, we'll probably see a Hex eventually, but not just yet. So hopefully Sylvanas will be safe when it does come down. This might be the turn for it. Maybe a card draw. Okay. And he gets the swipe. That's really nice. So he might.
That is good.
He's probably gonna. Well, obviously, he's on turn 9, so he can do. He can do the Azure Drake swipe whenever he gets that, but he has to probably be patient.
And now he's dealt with all of the wolves from the shaman now, so
Yeah.
that's if he plays Alakir here, he might just trade board and leave Alakir up with yep.
Okay. Now, I guess the swipe hero power would take care of it, but that's a lot just for one minion.
Yeah, I don't know if he wants to dedicate the swipe just to the Alakir. Maybe. I guess it does look like the only way he gets rid of it, unless he double keepers.
Double keepers and hero powers would be rather strange, but I guess it works too.
I don't know if the druid wants to spend both of his silences.
Well, I mean, obviously we can see the hand, and we know that keeper is going to be a big play if it lands on the Sneeds. So hopefully he keeps that for that. But you know, if he plays it here, we wouldn't blame him.
The Shaman deck's really nice. It's got a lot of scary minions in it. That Sneed, the Belcher, and the Alakir are really scary minions that you want to taunt or silence.
Yeah, and I mean, when Flagbot was spinning this deck to me, he like originally gave me this list, and then later on, like an hour later, he said, screw this lower tier minion. Let me see what he said. He said, screw the Harvest Golem. I'm throwing in a Sneed's Old Shredder to be saucy. That was his words. So,
I like the sauce.
yeah, he's looking to have fun tonight, which is awesome, and obviously it's working out for him.
It is very saucy indeed. I like it.
Yeah.
That Sylvanas just sitting in his hand is getting more and more scary as the game goes on.
Yeah, I mean,
Because his bigger minions are just the shaman. His big minions are just sitting in his hand, and so far he can't deal with that Sylvanas if it comes out.
well, if it keeps on hanging in the hand, you know, that's just more likely that a Hex eventually is able to answer it. But,
Also true. Also true.
so hopefully he's able to develop it soon, but, you know, he doesn't want to do it now considering it trades so poorly with the board.
This could be interesting.
Yeah. He might... Okay, so is he trying to silence and then kill the Haunted Creeper?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay, so if he does that, the 2 damage, that probably means a Wrath, I think. would
Yeah.
be-
Yeah.
And that leaves him with 4 mana, so... just hero power, I guess.
Yeah, this is okay. I suppose he could hero power the elemental, and then trade his 4/2 into the spectral, and then he could have swiped to clear board. Oh, he's doing that. He just ended up okay. So he ended up saving a little damage from his face there.
Yeah, a little bit different, but it works out. Okay, so hopefully...
Oh, that is exactly what you want to see in that shaman's hand.
Yeah, some
He's laid both keepers of the grove. You've got to think he's got no silences left. Your Belchers are free to roam.
Yeah, and then whatever else gets rid of the Belcher, then I mean the Sneed's just gonna do work after that.
Oh,
The Boom is a nice top deck though.
Doctor Balanced. Doctor Balanced.
Yeah.
Right on time.
Now obviously the Wrath will also pair nicely with that by having a guy trade into the Sludge Belcher. So Wrath and Sludge Belcher will probably be killed.
He also has Lightning Storm, which is also very nice with the spell power.
Yeah, and that was an interesting way to trade that. So he kept both of his guys alive, but very low life. So
This Lightning Storm is gonna do work. He's gonna clear board.
Oh, but he should not attack first. Oh, he should.
I guess it doesn't matter because everything's not above. Oh, I guess yeah, that was a mistake. It could roll low. That could be.
Yeah.
This could be very bad.
Oh wow. Okay. So Flagbot obviously doing a huge misplay there. He did just.
Oh no,
Yeah.
that is not good.
So we basically just donated a Sludge Belcher to Nakanub. Nakanub's gonna thank him for that.
Oh no.
And he gets his second Savage Roar. So obviously he's running. Okay.
Oh no. Oh okay.
Whoa. Why does he?
Okay.
I guess.
I guess he
to
just
the
does it.
slot?
Yeah, just to get rid of the I don't know. Maybe he got excited about that misplay.
Yeah.
I'm not sure.
That might be the best explanation, but I guess hopefully it works out. I mean, Flagbot has some
Sylvanas.
big minions. Yeah, Sylvanas will be really slow.
Sylvanas is definitely coming down here.
Yeah, and I don't think that
I have
we
no time
have any
for
weapons in the Shaman, but once we do potentially, I mean, Harrison Jones will be there, but I'm not sure if I set any weapons. I could just check deck list, but that's kind of cheating. Okay, so
he's got to draw into Hex.
yeah. I mean, stealing Sneeds when it's still alive, I mean, you basically just get a free 5/2 and then whatever legendary comes out of it.
Is he trying to... Okay, I think he might fill board here. Okay.
He's going with a 30-30
Okay.
or 33.
Oh,
Ooh,
okay.
okay.
That was much needed.
I mean, sometimes you just gotta get lucky, right? And he just went
Yep,
for it.
that was very much needed. But now he has to roll taunt here, and it might even be GG.
Ooh, is that lethal?
He's got Savage. He's got Savage Roar in
Yeah,
hand.
you're right. That is lethal, considering.
Yep.
Wow. Okay, so
Well,
not gonna.
The double roar. The double roar doing mad work.
Yeah, I mean, he used the first one for only 2 damage, but he has the second one anyway, so not a big deal. All right. Anyway, so we'll allow these guys to grab their next game. They obviously play the exact same deck, so this probably shouldn't take more than 10 seconds. They don't really have any decisions to go over right now, so we're just gonna kind of hang out here. Well, actually, let's take a look at the brackets real fast. So obviously, you see there that Nakanub is ahead with 2 wins. And yeah, well, he just won that matchup, so he's at least guaranteed to get a tie here at most, but we actually ended the game, so let's take a look at that. And Nakanub starting out with a wild growth, and Flagbot has his Harvest Golem, which he's going to keep.
That's a good minion versus Druid.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, he got some heavier cards in there, so, ooh.
Oh
Hot
man,
Creeper's
them
nice.
cards for the Druid look good.
Yeah.
Has he had wild growth every game?
pretty
I think
solidly.
he may have had.
Yeah,
think
at least in
it's been
this
really
series.
consistent.
Yeah, and I mean, okay, so the reason that he coined Wild Growth there is because he has a 3-drop. Usually you don't do that, but the 3, 4, 5 drop is really nice. So he's gonna have a huge curve here.
Yeah, that's one of the best hands that you want to see for Druid.
Yeah.
Coin wild growth into Shade, into Shredder, into Druid of the Claw. Like, it does not get better than that.
And then eventually you could potentially get an Innervate to get Dr. Doom on 6, so why not? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, he's got 3 turns to search for an Innervate here,
Yeah.
2 turns to look for an Innervate here.
Okay, so.
Oh,
Flagbot has some
that
huge
Mana
hits.
Tide is also a nice draw, but
I'm guessing that he'll probably wait until at least he has Sparrow Spears to protect it, but you know. It is a nice drop now, but he's probably not going to play it for a little bit. Okay, so here we go with the 4-drop. It's probably not too many decisions to be made here. Maybe he's just thinking about like a Wrath Hero Power on the Golem, but you know, that's not too good. I think Shredder's probably a little better.
he could, I guess, he doesn't want to give up his Shade either, so I don't think he will trade with his Shade and then Hero Power it down. Yeah, Shredder.
Yeah, I mean, the Shade will kill like 2 Death Rattle minions, but I mean, might as well just let it grow. Not a big deal, just let it sit there. Anyway, so we have to kind of remind ourselves that Flagbot made that huge misplay with trading the Dazzle Drake kind of early last turn.
That was game changing. He
Yeah.
was in complete control of that. Had that Dr. Boom died, that game was completely in Shaman's control.
Yeah, and then he laid down a, you know, the Lotheb to kind of, I mean the Sludge Belcher to donate to the Dr. Boom, but hopefully we won't see anything like that. This game so far it looks fairly good. I mean both sides, nice curves, nice minions. Obviously the Druid's a little bit favored just considering it's a Druid that got Wild Growth early, so you know, kind of every matchup, but hopefully the Shaman can bring it out. He's got a nice curve going in 5 and 6.
what to do?
Nakanub, as far as this turn, obviously has a 5-drop. He's obviously weighing his options, playing it nice and slow.
I think I mean, trading. Okay, I guess the spell totem is scary, but I think he's really considering whether or not to taunt that up or not. His True to the Claw.
Yeah. Wait, so you think it's even a possibility that he charges it?
Maybe. I mean, push for damage.
Okay.
The shaman has a pretty small board right now, but he ends up trading.
Okay, yeah, interesting. So he's able to defend his shade after trading into the zombie chow with a nice bear. The shaman doesn't have any like Earthshock or Hex to get at the shade, so hopefully it stays alive for a bit. Have it get nice and big. Now, Flagbot has a Lotheb or a Sludge Belcher. He's probably just deciding between those two, or maybe even the Azure Drake, even though it trades fairly poorly with the board.
I think Lotheb is best just to try to save your other minions from spells and such. Hopefully he trades.
Yeah. And he goes with the Lotheb. Now, as far as trading here, he might.
I don't
just
even know.
hold.
I don't even know if he attacks.
Yeah. I mean, holding is obviously viable.
Taking it down to 3 is good too. Okay, that's not bad because he can still fire elemental that down. But then he's got to worry about the shade.
Yeah, but then all your guys are kind of
I have no
open to
time for
swipe,
games.
but he doesn't essentially trade the second harvest golem, so he's gonna probably use that next turn to go with the fire elemental like you mentioned. And Nakanub is just taking out these little minions, I guess, is rather worried about
That's
them.
pretty interesting. Okay, he went face there.
Yeah, I mean, he used the Shredder to take out one of them, but keeps the shade at 3 life. I guess he's...
Oh, that Rockbiter might come in pretty handy.
Yeah, ooh, yeah, that Rockbiter would trade really nicely with the shade onto the Creeper.
I wonder.
But if he does that, he's not able to fire elemental, so I guess he's just debating on whether Sludge Belcher plus Rockbiter or fire elemental.
Is he gonna trade that into Sylvanas? That would be very.
Nice.
Yeah, it's not bad because if he gets Lotheb, he trades the 1 into it. It's not that bad.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, he's even able to protect his 1 health Lotheb with the nice.
Yeah, that worked out.
Yeah. So both times, Flagbot is going for like an RNG Sylvanas, and it worked out
Hey.
both times for him.
He plays around Sylvanas well. I need to learn how to do that.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So Shade finally goes down to 1 health, but obviously it's done like 6 or 3 attacks this turn, or I mean this game.
Yeah, that shade has done major work.
Yeah.
Dr. Balanced.
Yep.
Oh,
Obviously,
boy.
turn 7 play, always the best. Now, Nakanob's hand kind of looks rather dry after playing that, but he does have some cycle in there. Flagbot obviously has some nice cards still yet to go. So this game obviously looks a little bit in the favor of the Druid, but, you know, hand-wise, Shaman has it. Gotta respond to Flagbot, noticing how he wants a Hex, obviously, but he's not
Yeah.
able to get it quite yet.
He was dreaming for Hex many times through both games, and it failed to come through. He made great plays throughout the game, but the Hex is just missing in action.
Yeah. So it looks like a totem. I guess that's a decent totem considering the amount of 1 health guys. Finally kills the Shade. Ooh, Innervate. Not the best draw for Nakanub, I don't think. He would probably want a heavy 5-drop minion at least.
His hand isn't. It's a good thing he has Dr. Boom out there, because if he didn't have Dr. Boom out there, his hand wouldn't be looking too well.
Yeah. Now I'm curious. Okay, so whatever he does from his hand, let's just assume he does some Wrath shenanigans. How does he kind of trade these boombots? Oh, he's gonna. Ooh, Savage Roar. All right.
Oh, okay.
Does that mean the
Maybe he-
Shredder is gonna start off by killing the Sludge Belcher?
He could. Well, if he gets a lucky boom by here, it could just be major
Or
problems.
maybe double Wrath for 1 and then throw your boombot in?
Maybe he wants to go. Maybe he's wrathing for 3 on both of them just to go all face.
Ooh, wow, all face. Alright, that'd be... I don't know
It
about
looks
that,
like it.
but okay. Yeah, it
Maybe
looks
he's-
like you're right. Okay then.
Wow, just pushing for damage.
And is that even lethal?
It's really close. It's
Oh my god, this is exact.
21. Yeah, that's 21. Wow.
Oh my god.
Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
So, all right, we didn't see that for the longest time, but obviously Nakano knew exactly
I didn't
what was
see
going
that.
on.
Yeah, he was on top of that. I did not see that lethal coming from a mile away.
All right, we're going to go into the game, but while this game ramps up, we'll take a quick look at the brackets, and it looks like we need to do some work with the Nato. Okay, Nato, we just saw you play, bro. So why is your hand? We need to reload this just for a second. While we let that load up, let's take a quick look at the brackets. Obviously, we see Nakano way out in front at 3 wins. Stan the Eddy is just behind him, and Flagbot is hopefully going to be able to qualify for the double elimination bracket if he stays in this for a bit. But so far this game, let's take a quick look at... Okay, so it looks like we have both players' hands, and we're solid. And obviously they play the exact same decks that they've been playing all night, so we have Flagbot's big minion style Shaman against Nato's aggressive style Ebola Paladin.
Yes. Oh, he has the divine favor in hand, so that is very good.
Yeah, and you also mentioned how Savich would also mulligan for Hobgoblin too, so he has both those key cards.
This is very nice. Yeah. Oh, and a wisp. This is looking really good. Does he play Hobgoblin and wisp here? It looks good.
And he goes for it. Yeah.
I mean, it's early. It's really early. Like this is a hell of a board. Turn 3. Woo.
So next turn, do you hero power and knife juggler, or do you just divine favor and say fuck it?
Oh yep, he's got a divine favor next turn.
Okay, cool. So Flagbot is able to answer the Hobgoblin and the summoned minion with some, Shaman shenanigans. But ooh, Nato actually gets 2 nice 2-drops. So
He might go for that. That looks good too. I mean, play your hand out and then divine favor that's the dream.
yeah, exactly. And he goes for it. He ignores the minion, so obviously it's not gonna kill too much here with only 1 attack, maybe. Oh, wait. Looks like he's. Oh, nice. Okay. He's able to actually kill the knife juggler.
That's nice. That's really good. He really needed to do that.
Yeah. But here we go with divine favor.
Oh wow,
And this-
wow. Hobgoblin right back for games.
Yeah, and it's gonna go into like turn 6 and 7 where he could buff up his own Jeeves too.
This is bad for the Shaman now. He just divine favored. He's already gone through twice the cards that the Shaman has. This is exactly what the Shaman didn't want to see.
Yeah. So I would predict next turn he might do a raid leader, considering his board is so huge, and it would get rid of the sludge belcher that Flagbot could potentially throw down.
This Belcher, that's a nice play.
Yeah.
Taunts are a really big problem for this deck. I think this Paladin deck does run the yep, there it is, the Iron Beak Owl.
Yeah. Perfect timing.
Right on time. Wow.
Now, how much does he actually trade? Is he gonna kill the totem? No.
Okay.
Ignores the totem, just goes for face. His opponent down to 13 now. But the board is starting to accumulate for Flagbot, so hopefully he can rush him down soon enough.
He's got a pretty nice. Oh, if he waits. Oh, that sword is good. He might push for all
So the,
face damage here.
you think the sword is face rather than killing the sludge belcher?
I think that I don't know, because when I see Savitz play this deck, I see him make like trades that I would say are necessary. But this Shaman, like maybe last turn I might have killed the healing totem. I don't know.
Yeah.
He's been going all face.
Yeah, it's definitely face hunter style play mentality, but if he goes for it once, obviously he has to stay consistent. So, and that's.
I
what
mean,
he should
next
do.
turn, is it lethal? Could be, I think. He's got a rock biter in there. It could be lethal if he doesn't clear board. Actually, if he draws, oh no, I'm looking at the wrong cards.
Yeah, I was
But
gonna say,
this
mentioned rock
Paladin.
biter, and I was like, what?
No, yeah, no, this Paladin has lethal though.
Yeah, that's true. Alec here obviously has a nice taunt to deny any such lethaling.
That's gonna be painful.
And he has used one owl. He could get a second. And obviously the second is lethal.
Why not, right? Why not, right?
Okay. Let's see. Leper Gnome's a big deal. There's no healing in this Shaman deck, so Leper Gnome's gonna stick.
Leper Gnome is a big deal. Leper Gnome is a pretty big deal.
Looks like he's going with the Hobgoblin, and he's gonna...
The Hobgoblin plays nice. He's gonna lay Jeeps here too. That looks good.
I'm
Oh.
guessing that Jeeves might even get hexed. But maybe not. I don't know. It's an option, considering it's one of the strongest minions.
Those are two really scary minions out there. Jeeves and Hobgoblin. Those are scary minions.
Yeah. And,
If he doesn't draw a Lightning Storm, he's just looking down the barrel. Oh, Argus is nice.
yeah, I mean, Argus would definitely build up your board, allow the Sludge Buster to actually taunt up again.
My shield for
Now, I vote that he actually does a Hex onto the Jeeves, but he decides not to. I just say that because, you know, Jeeves is obviously one of the strongest minions that you have in this deck, and might as well use it while you can.
Yeah, I agree.
But he does it on Argus Squire, which is also good.
Okay.
I mean,
Yeah, it does have a Divine Shield. That makes it pretty scary.
and that Hex basically just saved yourself, you know, 6 damage potentially if you had to trade into it twice. So it is a stronger play, I feel. So he definitely thought that more than I did.
Yeah, that Argus draw was a pretty game-changing draw.
Yeah.
Like the Shaman's or the Paladin's board went from really nice to nothing almost.
Yeah.
That's interesting playing the Coghammer there. He's really lucky. He's really lucky. If that frog had gotten that Divine Shield, he would be really sad.
Yeah. Okay, so this looks rather strong. He might hold on his weapon. Yeah, okay.
His board's looking pretty good again. That's the thing about this Paladin deck. It's so strong. It's like you think you kill the board and then boom, there it is again. Next turn.
Yeah. This weapon, I think he's trying to not waste any damage, considering it might be his lasting face damage.
He really wanted that taunt totem. That's nice.
Yeah. That gives him 2 taunts, and he's going to do a lot of work here.
That healing totem is also gonna be causing major problems.
Oh yeah. Okay, so he can kill all the taunts and set and put his
So
opponent down
he's-
to 4.
Yep, that leper gnome is really scary.
Yeah.
reporting for duty.
Now all the totems are dead, all the taunts are dead, so he has to roll a 25% chance to get another taunt totem. Other than that, he's just gonna take face damage from this weapon. He's probably gonna clear the board, obviously, but he's gonna be down to 4. The weapon's gonna come in, whack him for another 2. Obviously, still one more charge on it, so
He might still have that 1/1 left up on board too, so he might be taken down to 1. He might be 1 off lethal next turn
I would doubt
if he
that.
can't.
I mean,
If he can't clear board,
yeah,
'cause he's
but
got to attack.
Flagbot does have 4 minions to do the 4 attacks and needed,
Oh yeah, okay.
and I would assume that he would do all 4 attacks.
Yeah, he definitely has to clear board here.
Okay. Looks like he. Ooh, wow! Ignoring the
Really?
Leper Gnome is interesting.
That is very risky.
Well, I mean, it works. I mean, you're gonna take 2 damage anyway, and might as well just push for lethal next turn anyway, right?
Yeah, and this could be lethal next turn with that flame tongue totem in hand. That could be lethal. That's 16 damage between the 2 fire element. Oh, that top deck.
Yeah, that top deck.
Oh, if he would have cleared the leper gnome, he would have lived.
Yeah.
Wow.
Anyway, so he got hella lucky there with the top deck, and
Yep.
we're just gonna chill. These guys have to load the exact same game, so no commercial breaks or anything. But yeah, that's the first time that we see Nato actually win with that deck.
That was a good game.
He's been taken out quite a bit with, you know, these other, you know, druid decks and such and shaman decks. So
That was the Ebola done well at work there. I saw a really good divine favor. I saw a pretty good hobgoblin. That was good. That was a good game for the paladin.
yeah. Now into game 2, he has a defined favor to start. He has the Wisp, which probably is a crucial in your starting hand.
He keeps it though.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Okay, so
That lightning storm. That shaman has a lightning storm already. He did not see one last game.
he knows exactly what he's facing, so he keeps the Lightning Storm. And I even talked with Nato after Nato faced Stan the Yeti. Stan the Yeti was also running a Shaman deck, and Nato said that Shaman is almost one of the hardest counters to this deck, so by able to take one win out of it last game, rather lucky. Now we hopefully we'll see something similar to this game, just to have some fun, but obviously that Lightning Storm, like you mentioned, probably gonna hog
Yeah,
up
that's
that
gonna be a lot of trouble. He thought that it was safe to lay that juggler. It looked good. It looked really good, that juggler play.
The Shaman does have those 1-mana removals. I guess Rockbiter is the only one. Sometimes you see like Lightning Bolt in that category, but he does have his
I think
1-mana.
I'd like to see the paladin making more passive minions
Just here
when he
for-
does. Yeah, maybe here anyways. You know, the board's clean.
Okay, interesting.
There's no real reason to play an Annoyotron.
Do you think he's just trying to empty his hand for the Defiant?
Yeah, I didn't consider that. He does have the divine favor there.
Okay, so yeah, it's probably just to play out his hand. Maybe just a naked Hobgoblin here, and then set up a Jeeves next turn. Or maybe he doesn't want to. Oh, never mind.
Really,
Okay.
it's divine favoring for 2 cards.
Yeah.
I mean, he has Hobgoblin and Jeeves. Like, I don't know what else you could really want.
Yeah. So the Divine Favor basically acted like an Arcane Intellect, 3 mana, draw 2 cards. So that worked out. Mana efficiency still is present, but obviously you got a little bit more out of it. But you know, he played his hand to its strengths.
It might be interesting to see if he saves that Iron Beak and doesn't silence the Shredder. And he knows there's Belchers in there.
Yeah. So, considering his playstyle, I do kind of agree with that, considering he does kind of always go for face. So
Yeah.
he's probably going to save that for the Shredder like you mentioned. Now, as far as this turn, you think maybe just a Hero Power Noitron to essentially go with your style where he's laying down more passive minions?
Yeah, but also with that Wisp draw, that also makes Hobgoblin like really good play too. He could Hobgoblin abusive for a lot of damage, and then Wisp.
Yeah, and then it does exactly that. So the shield is basically going to absorb 4 damage. That's pretty much the best. Oh, never mind. I assumed a trade, my bad, but he said screw the trade, I'm going face.
Oh, double Lightning Storm. That
Oh
is
my God.
that is exactly what the Shaman wants to see.
Now, does he do a totem just to hopefully get lucky?
Did he just okay.
He needs to roll high if he doesn't do a totem.
Well, this is interesting. If he doesn't roll high on this Hobgoblin, he's going to be in a lot of trouble without attacking into this Divine Shield first.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. He's going to trade the he might trade the health totem into it, possibly.
Yeah, okay, so he has some trades. Even if he rolls low. But
He didn't pop it. Interesting.
Yeah, he rolls high on both the minions they needed to, the Wisp
Oh.
and the Hobgoblin, so 3 damage dealt to them. Alright, so Nato has some opportunity to come back. He can do Jeeves for 1 card with the Leper Gnome, or he could just throw out the rest of his hand, save Jeeves for next turn.
It's also it's almost, you almost want to silence that Flame Tongue too, but then again you don't. He's going to.
Yeah, I mean, I guess considering how much he doesn't trade, he's not too worried about the second half of the Shredder, and the Flame Tongue Totem does kind of pose more of a threat.
Oh, he goes for the second Lightning Storm instead of Belcher.
Yeah, I mean, it works. He doesn't clear the board and you take no face damage anyway, but
Can I help you, sir?
here we go with the card draw.
Reporting for duty.
Let me get that.
I like his little voice. He's like, "Can I help you, sir? Let me get that." Definitely the gentleman bringing in the house. So obviously he's gonna die. He's too big of a threat to leave alive. And Flagbot is able to just create a huge little thing right here.
Yup, that's not good for Paladin. That is not good.
Yeah. He used the silence earlier, so he has another one, I think.
I think there's two.
Yeah. He's going to...
At least he gets to draw a card.
Yeah,
And it's a hobgoblin, so that's good.
one card. Sadly, he did Divine Shield a minion with only one attack, and yet the healing totem is on board, so that Divine Shield is rather useless.
This is trouble.
Yeah. And sadly, Nato did get put in the group with 2 Shaman players. And I mean, Shaman isn't even that popular of a class yet. He's having to fight a lot of them tonight.
Yeah. Shaman is a strong class if you can build a board up. I mean, like we're seeing here, this is a board.
Yeah.
This is a board.
And I mean, all these players, like yourself, have kind of gone through the, the King of the Hill style thing, so they know about facing these random type decks. So obviously they chose to use Shaman in that format, and it's doing a lot of work here, considering the top 2 players are Shaman players currently. The top player is obviously the Druid player, but Shaman's still in there. Okay, well, I guess that's about it for this Hobgoblin.
Yeah. I mean, that's the power of Shaman. It is just make them totems, because the thing about the Shaman is that the totems are scary. You see a spell totem, it's scary. You can't let that extra spell damage be out there. Same with the heal totem.
But
Especially
Nato-
in this Paladin deck when you play 1-attack minions. Like,
Yeah. And I mean, like we said earlier, Nato refused to trade in the totems. He felt comfortable just going face, and I guess it cost him. But the winners tonight are going to be Nakanub. He had a perfect score all night. Stan the Yeti is also going to advance. Flagbot is also going to advance. Flagbot had 2 ties and 1 loss, so rather kind of a sad score, but he's able to advance anyway. The top 3 players advance. The top 1 player gets a round 1 bye, and we'll have those guys in the double elimination bracket that will start in a couple days. And sadly, Nato is not going to be among them. Also, Dr. Ratman, considering he didn't even show up. We had Loki on cast tonight to help us the later half, but he still obviously helped us quite a bit. And so, thank you, Loki. And
no problem.
obviously, let's see, when do you play? Do you play tomorrow?